LLoyd Bitzer is the author of The Rhetorical Situation. He was born in Austin, Texas in the year 1931. LLoyd Bitzer began studying rhetoric at Edgewood College and eventually received his doctorate from the University of Iowa in 1962. In the early 1960s, not long after graduating, LLoyd Bitzer became a professor of rhetoric and rhetorical theory at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. It was during his time there that Bitzer published his famous piece, The Rhetorical Situation. The rhetorical situation has paved the way for many studies in the field of rhetoric, and its content is taught in classrooms all over the country. According to Marilyn Young, Bitzer is one of the most respected rhetorics of the latter half of the 20th century. LLoyd Bitzer has since retired from teaching at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and is now considered emeritus. This title honors him as a very successful professor. According to Bitzer, there are three parts to any rhetorical situation. There is exigence, audience, and constraints. An exigence is an imperfection marked by urgency. It calls for change. The speaker addresses an audience that is able to enact change in the exigency. Finally, constraints are things that could hinder or enable the audience from agreeing or disagreeing with the speaker's rhetoric. These are things like laws or beliefs added to assumptions. Bitzer stresses the importance of kairos, which can be defined as rhetorical timing. In order for something to be identified under kairos, it must fit within the opportune time or moment. The following speech has all three parts of a rhetorical situation. See if you can identify them.
And just like our president and first lady, I took out loans to pay for school. I changed oil in a mechanic shop. I flipped burgers at Wendy's. I taught aerobics and I worked on campus to pay those loans back. And like a lot of you, I did whatever it took. And 4 years later, I got my degree. But more importantly, I got a key to American opportunity. Because that's who we are, a nation that rewards ambition with opportunity, where hard work can lead to success no matter where you start. As I travel the country for the president, I see Americans of every background fighting to succeed. They're optimistic, they're ambitious, they're hardworking, but they also want to know that their hard work will pay off. And we're lucky that our president understands the value of American opportunity because he's lived it. And he's fighting to help others achieve it. He's fighting to make college more affordable. He's cut taxes for every working American. He's helping small businesses get loans and has cut their taxes 18 times. 18 times. And that's important, and I'll tell you why, because small businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in America. It's the suburban dad who realizes his neighborhood needs a dry cleaner. It's the Latina nurse whose block needs a health clinic, and she's the one that's going to open it. Or it's the high school sophomore who's building Facebook's competitor. They are the entrepreneurs driving the American economy, not Mitt Romney's outsourcing pioneers. Mitt Romney would raise taxes on middle-class families to cut his own and mine. And that's not who we are as a nation, and let me tell you why. Because the evil Longoria who worked at Wendy's flipping burgers, she needed a tax break. But the evil Longoria who works on movie sets does not. President Obama, he is fighting for changes that grow the economy from the middle out and help all Americans succeed. Jobs, education, health reform, the DREAM Act, equal pay for women. President Obama is moving us forward with opportunity today for prosperity tomorrow.
In this case, the exigency is Evil Longoria's belief that Barack Obama should be elected in the 2012 presidential election. The audience is made up of people who can vote and re-elect President Obama. In this rhetorical situation, a constraint would be the belief that Mitt Romney would make a better president. Now let's take a look at a speech given by Ellen Page at a human rights campaign. See if you can identify Bitzer's rhetorical situation here.
You're here because you've adopted as a core motivation the simple fact that this world would be a whole lot better if we just made an effort to be less horrible to one another. If we took just 5 minutes to recognize each other's beauty instead of attacking each other for our differences, that's not hard. It's really an easier and better way to live. And ultimately, it saves lives. Then again, it can be the hardest thing. Because loving other people starts with loving ourselves and accepting ourselves. And I know many of you have struggled with this. And I draw upon your strength and your support in ways that you will never know. And I am here today because I am gay. And because thank you. And because maybe I can make a difference to help others have an easier and more hopeful time. Regardless, for me, I feel a personal obligation and a social responsibility. I also do it selfishly because I'm tired of hiding and I'm tired of lying by omission. I suffered for years because I was scared to be out. My spirit suffered, my mental health suffered, and my relationship suffered. And I'm standing here today with all of you on the other side of that pain. And I am young, yes. But what I have learned is that love, the beauty of it, the joy of it, and yes, even the pain of it, is the most incredible gift to give and to receive as a human being. And we deserve to experience love fully, equally, without shame and without compromise. There are too many kids out there suffering from bullying, rejection, or simply being mistreated because of who they are. Too many dropouts, too much abuse, too many homeless, too many suicides. You can change that, and you are changing it.
In this case, Ellen Page is advocating for a more accepting society for homosexuals. The audience is made up of people who can advocate and make moves towards that change on a higher scale. Constraints in this situation could be possible homophobia from audience members. Bitzer's contribution to rhetoric is immense, and it will probably be studied for many years to come.